Hello, everyone. How does vaccination cause immunization against pathogens? Let's find out answer to this question. What a vaccine is? Well, a vaccine is a mild form of a disease that is put or injected into a person using a needle or injection in order to protect that person against a disease. So, vaccination is the administration of a vaccine to help the immune system develop protection for a disease. We see the first picture labeled as antigen, which we can say is the mild infection. Okay. The other important thing is adjuvant, which is going to enhance the work of this antigen. Another main thing is water, which is the base of the vaccine, which will have the stabilizers and preservatives are the ones to give the shelf life to the vaccine and also to provide the stability to the vaccine. You will get an idea of different types of vaccines that are available. The first and the foremost type is the whole virus vaccine, in which you will see either in the vaccine the attenuated virus is added, or inactive virus form is put. It can be the whole virus or a subunit of a virus. The other second type of vaccine is viral vector vaccine, in which actually say a similar kind of antigen is added into the vaccine instead of the real virus or the germ. This is an example of the AstraZeneca vaccine that we have these days for COVID-19 from Oxford. The other technology is where the nucleic acid based vaccines are formed, where just the mRNA vaccine, which is the very much example of Pfizer and Moderna, where we see that no virus is added in the injection or the vaccine and no viral vector is added. Rather, it is just the information of the antigen that is present on that particular virus, which is added into the vaccine, which will go and trigger the production of antibodies in the. Let's presume something. There is person A, this is person A, person B, and a person C. Okay. The person A is infected person. Person B is not vaccinated, and person C is vaccinated. Okay. If person A is infected and is sneezing, okay, influenza or whatever flu is there, and that person sneezes, the person B who is not vaccinated, that aerosols are going to enter into this person nasal cavity, and in the nasal cavity there is, if I draw the epithelial tissue over here with some cilia over it, okay, if this is the epithelial tissue, the holes or the germ that is being sneezed out by person A is going to enter and will attack the first line of defense in the nasal cavity, which is the epithelial tissue. Now the epithelial tissue will let that germ enter, and from here it will go into the bloodstream. And once it goes into the bloodstream, the role of the macrophage come into the play. Now the person who is vaccinated will have something different, which we will talk in the end. So let's presume the person B along with the explanation of the vaccine that I talk about. Now let's talk about first the infection. Like if a person is not vaccinated and is getting this infection and the infection has reached to the blood, what is going to happen is that virus or the bacteria or the germ will enter into the bloodstream, where the macrophage is going to come into play and will start doing phagocytosis, which is it will engulf the bacteria or the virus, lysosome will digest it and will reduce the debris out of the cell by the process of exocytosis. Along with this, what will happen is the antigens that are present outside the germ are going to get identified by the macrophage. So macrophage is going to make a huge difference now. The macrophage has identified the germ's antigen, the white blood cells that phagocytize the foreign material are going to present the antigen. They have identified the antigen and they are going to present this antigen on MHC2 to the lymphocytes or the T cells. Now this is the macrophage, okay, which had engulfed or phagocytized the pathogen and identified the antigen, and now that has to be transferred. This information is transferred by the help of MHC class 2 as an peptide antigen to the T cells with the help of T receptors. And this T cell is now going to get the information of the antigen which has come into the bloodstream as a foreign body, as an infection, as a germ. Okay. Now, once the T cell gets the information about the peptide antigen or the antigen, they are going to tell it to B cells. The T cell will have the peptide antigen transferred to the B cell with the help of again MHC. Okay, the T helper cell is going to give that information to B cell. Now let's understand it more clearly with the help of next. Understand that the T helper cell that had got the information about the antigen will start proliferating, will start increasing in number, and will be having helper T cells, cytotoxin T cells, and activated T cells. So immune response that is associated with vaccination is actually controlled by the specific T cells. Okay, the T cells have got the information from the macrophage, and on the CD4, which is a type of phenotype, will be effective to produce the antibodies, cytotoxins, lymphocytes, and activation of the innate immune effector cells. Then the role of the T cell is going to start in the production, help in the production of antibodies, and will also help in the activation of B cells memory. Okay, so memory B cells will get activated because of the helper T cells. B cells are going to proliferate and they will start making memory B cells and plasma cells. Let me just start from the first thing, that there was a pathogen which we named as an antigen. The macrophage had engulfed it by the and done phagocytosis. While the phagocytosis was going on, the lysosome had broken down the components of the antigen or the germ. The macrophage had then presented the antigen of the foreign body to the T cells. The T cells had received that antigen, got activated, and then went and activated the B lymphocytes or B cells. The B cells had started the proliferation due to the production of cytokines. Okay, and then the plasma cells were produced. These plasma cells had started producing antibodies, specific antibodies. These are the antibodies, specific antibodies against the virus or the germ. Meanwhile, the cytokines have also allowed the memory cells to produce the memory for this pathogen, and whenever in future a similar kind of infection will happen, the memory cells will help in rapid production of antibodies. I was talking about three people, A, B, and C. You remember I had said that C is vaccinated. When C is vaccinated means the C has already done all of these processes and have got the memory cells, the antibodies against this specific pathogen. This person, or in that case only when this person has sneezed into the nasal cavity of the C, and in the epithelial cells of the C's nasal cavity, when this germ had come in the extracellular space around the epithelial cell, if this is the epithelial tissue, the extracellular cavity of the epithelial tissue already had the memory cells or the antibodies. These are the antibodies, they already are present there. in the extracellular spaces around the epithelial tissue. And as soon as this germ will come, there will be a lock and key component kind of a thing, and will not let this germ enter into the blood, unlike the way it had happened in B, the B person. The person B was not vaccinated, so the person B would not have these antibodies there in the extracellular space and will get the infection. Whereas the C will not get the infection. Why? Because the person is vaccinated, and in the extracellular space or around the epithelial tissue from where the pathogen could have entered into the body, into the bloodstream, is having the antibodies already and will block will start working directly onto the pathogen which has entered. I hope this is clear to everybody. Thanks for being a patient listener.